Hey everybody, welcome to the impeachment update. This is just to let everybody know before the long weekend how everything's going with that effort. I think things are pretty good. I started this on a whim, but there's been a lot of interest. As some of you may know, recently there was a poll that came out, I think it was Gallup, that said that actually a majority of Americans at this point want to see these people impeached. A whopping majority wants to see them investigated. And that is, after all, what we're asking for the process to be allowed to work. I guess first I want to do a few logistic things, tell you what's going on specifically, and then I want to talk a little bit about my reasons for doing this. I'm not going to talk about specific things because I think most of us already know what the crimes are, and if anybody doesn't, we can have another video for that at a different time. It seems to me that the more vital debate is whether or not it's a good idea to pursue this and what it means to our country to either pursue it or not pursue it. But as I said first, I want to do some logistics. So, the basic idea here is to show up at the House of Representatives, sit in front of the Capitol, camp out for as long as it takes to make them know that there is a significant enough portion of the population that wants to see this happen, that it is the right thing to do to allow the House Judiciary Committee to have a hearing on this. We are trying to let Conyers know that he has support, and we're trying to let Nancy Pelosi know that she doesn't have support. My belief is that if a group of us show up there on Tuesday, by the weekend, we'll have a significant number of people. Now, the vision for this is not that people necessarily have to stay there for massive amounts of time, but if we constantly have, starting out with a few dozen and then growing to whatever numbers are necessary, if we constantly have some group of people there, people could leave to take showers, to visit family, to go to work, but, anybody could be involved in a whole variety of ways. Even if you don't live nearby, you could support us logistically by donating money. I'm going to be doing a video, so if you have mini DV tapes sitting around or any extra video equipment, I have a basic setup, but there's more things I could use. So if you have stuff sitting around, or if you wanted to come out and just do some shooting, we could collaborate on that. If you have any contacts with any kind of organization that would be able to take on some of the logistics of this, please get in touch with them and consider letting them know about the plans, and urge them to get in touch with me and check out what we're doing, because this is a pretty ambitious thing. And when I started it, I just did it because I felt like it needed to be done, but quite honestly, this is something that one person really can't do on their own. So I need people who believe in this to really rally around this cause and help in whatever way you can, even if that's not showing up. But showing up is probably the best thing you can do if it's possible for you. Everybody's got different family situations, different geographic situations. Excuse me, but so yeah, we could use cash for gas to get there. We could use a shower once we get there. We can use camping equipment, video equipment, any kind of media outlet. If you own a small newspaper or a radio station, you could help us out by getting the word out. You could send that other video to everyone you know. Please subscribe to this channel, rate and comment on the video to get it seen by more people. We just basically have to do the work and get it out there. And show up. At least a bunch of us have to. But, if you consider the fact that a majority of the public wants them impeached, and probably more than a third of the population of the U.S. lives within a day's drive of Washington, D.C., if even a tiny fraction of that were to be involved in this, I think that it would have a major impact. So it is far from hopeless. You know, in that other video I made, I said 6 people on the committee. Now there's a 7th, Wexler, I believe his name is, from Florida, maybe the 19th district or something like that. Yeah, so there's him, and then, you know, Conyers has brought up impeachment before, and so I think there's a good strong case as long as they don't get chicken and as long as the leadership doesn't get in the way, and that's where we come in. Which actually is a really nice segue into talking a little bit about what my motivations are. I think that, as I said before, I don't really need to talk in a video like this about what the crimes are and why he deserves to be impeached. But I do think I need to defend the idea of impeachment in general. Basically what I'm talking about with this and what impeachment is about, you know, in general, is the system. It's checks and balances. It's a mechanism built into the system to take care of problems like Dick Cheney. And, you know, there have always been good and bad things within our system of government. But one very good thing is the flexibility around this framework, which enshrines the things that we really prioritize and hold dear, like the Bill of Rights. Freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom to worship as you see, as you want to. You know, these are all crucial things that this government is working to take away. And not only are the Democrats who control Congress complicit in this, with votes of 404 for H.R. 1955, but any American that turns their back on this and allows it to happen is also complicit. We are on the verge of a national emergency. We are on the verge of martial law. And every day that these people go without their power being checked is a day we come closer to that reality. I, for one, am willing to do whatever it takes to decrease Dick Cheney's power. Even if it takes a long time, even if it's hard, even if it costs some money. It's the only thing that can save us now morally as a nation. We've allowed murder in our name, we've allowed theft, we've allowed torture, all these things to protect our way of life, which we cherish so much. But what is it that we cherish about our way of life? Do we cherish the fact that the lights come on when we flip the switch, that this computer runs? Or do we cherish freedom of speech and freedom of assembly and freedom of religion and freedom from unreasonable searches and seizures and freedom of the press? What is it that you value? Do you value honesty? Or do you value cash? Because I'll tell you, your cash isn't worth very much these days. And as long as these yahoos are in power, it's just going to get worse. There is no excuse to allow this to happen. I, for one, couldn't live with myself if I didn't do anything to stop these people. We're not going to get another chance to save our democracy and to save what's good about our country. There are plenty of bad things about our country, but we've fixed a lot of the bad things so far, and I have every belief and hope that we will fix other problems in the future. But as long as we're fighting for our way of life, which to me is not the electricity or the cars or the cable, but it's the Bill of Rights. In order to preserve our culture and our way of life and what's good about it, we have to defend it from rogue elements within our own government. The founders knew it, and many of our most, glorious leaders, so from the founders on, knew it. And believe it or not, George Bush knows it too. He just has different values than you and me. We have to reassert American values. Try to find our footing again. Prove to the world that we're not all a bunch of assholes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So if you are interested in seeing this happen, please do any of those things that I mentioned in order to support this effort. Get the word out, join us, send us a $10 donation for gas. And I think we can get this done. We can get this done. Thanks.